And greetings, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Want to remind everybody, hit the like, share, and subscribe button down there. And there is a PayPal link down there for anybody that wants to share some love. Let me get that up for you. And we are talking about Tits Out and Balls to the Wall, the insanity again. In our next part of the series, Copaholic Special II, where we're going to be talking about this police force, this police state, whatever you want to call it, statist IC, based on the statistics, numbers, things like that. And as we've been talking here in recent videos, the thing about the ladder and how things, the authority goes up the line, and how it seems like some people tend to resign or retire one after another when certain things happen. So we're going to get into it with the first one here. A couple videos to set the premises here before we get into the insanity at all levels, not just the police, but the police and their authoritarians. They're the ones they believe have authority and give it to them. You know, the ones that are saying, I'm just doing my job, all the way up the ladder. So let's take a look. This one here is their life after. And it's a point to show a different perspective that you can put on other things. And it's kind of like putting yourself in another man's shoes. So let's listen to this.
Story is in a mother's womb where two babies, and one turns to the other and says, "Do you believe in life after delivery?" And the other replies, "Why, of course, there has to be something after delivery. Maybe we're here to prepare ourselves for what will be later." "Nonsense," said the first. "There's no life after delivery. What kind of life would that be?" "I don't know," said the second, "but there'll be more light in here. Maybe we'll walk with our legs and eat with our mouths. Maybe we'll have other senses we can't understand now." First goes, "That's ridiculous. Walking is impossible, and eating with our mouths, that's absurd. The umbilical cord is what scientifically supplies nutrition and all that we need, but it's far too short. Life after delivery is to be logically excluded." And the second says, "What if it's just different than it is here? Maybe we don't need that physical cord anymore." The first goes, "Okay, if there were life after delivery, then tell me, why has no one ever come back from there? Delivery is the end of life, and in the after delivery is nothing but darkness and silence and oblivion. It takes us nowhere." And the second says, "But certainly we'll meet Mother, and she'll take care of us." The first goes, "Mother? You actually believe in Mother? If Mother exists, where is she now?" And the second goes, "She's all around us. We are of her. It is in her that we live. Without her, this world would not and could not exist." And the first says, "I don't see her. It's only logical that she's not here." To which the second replied, "Sometimes, when you're in silence and you really listen, you can perceive her presence. You can hear her loving voice calling down from above."
Interesting perspective, huh? I urge everybody to think about Roe versus Wade again. Let's take a look at the next one, where people will pay for anything. People will pay for anything. We started paying out for land. And then we're paying out for water. And now we are absolutely paying out for air. So let's think about that concept.
Babe, I didn't even need the service. I took it this morning because I thought I needed it, right? All I needed was air in the tires. Literally air. So instead, because he was flirting back with me, he gave me a discount. Instead of
discount on air and tires?
Right. Cause no, listen, okay. So instead of $500, he only charged me $300 for the premium air in all 4 tires. 4 freaking tires, babe.
What?
For $300, only $300. I know, right?
No, I know, right?
What?
You paid $300 for airing your tires?
No, it's not like the gas station, like nasty air. It's the premium air. The air quality, it makes your tires like literally so much better.
Baby, air is air.
Not if it's premium air.
There is no premium air.
You work on cars and you don't know this.
I know there's no premium air.
Oh my God.
The air you sucking into your mouth right now is the same air they're putting into the tires.
It's not 1950. It's 2023. There's premium air now. And it literally gives you more grip on your tires.
More grip? Oh
So
my God, you did not just say that
Oh my
shit.
God, Anthony. Yes. So that, because you know, if my tires go bald, I won't have any traction. So because the premium air is in there, they don't go bald as fast.
How does the premium air help?
It's premium, whatever.
How does it give you more traction?
Science.
What?
And plus, I used your Capital One card because they said that I was going to get points back on the premium air.
Use the Capital One card on premium air. On premium air.
Why are you yelling?
Because air is free. You're sucking that shit in right now.
Babe, I didn't even need the service. I took it this morning because I thought I needed it, right? All I needed was air in the tires.
All you needed. All you needed. Let's take a look at the next one, where we got Nick Freitas saying something with no apologies. I like this kind of statement.
The modern public education system was built off of a Prussian model that was designed to make really good conscripts and factory workers. You're assigned a government school based off of your address. You have little to no say over any of the curriculum. If you want to change something, you don't like something.
Notice he said based off your address. You have no say over the curriculum.
Prepare to go through a huge political battle for which you are the underdog every single time. You can't leave this school unless you can afford to, and none of your teachers are rewarded for creativity, ingenuity, or work ethic. It's all about seniority. And we are shocked that this mass production approach to education is not producing the sort of results, optimal results. It is a mass production approach to education, and you are going to get mass produced results. There's a lot of people right now leaving the public school because they don't like what's being taught. Imagine being able to have the power to customize an education to both your child's strengths and weaknesses and their overall objectives. We have been taught to feel like this method of education is the preferred one, but in reality, what we've really been told parents is this is the safe option if you don't want to be criticized. The power to customize an education to both your child's strengths and weaknesses and their overall objectives. We have been taught to feel like this method of education is the preferred one, but in reality, what we've really been told parents is this is the safe option if you don't want to be criticized. Have the power to customize an education to both your child's strengths and weaknesses and their overall objectives. We have been taught to feel like this method of education is the preferred one, but in reality, what we've really been told parents is this is the safe option if you don't want to be criticized.
That's all the public education system does, is teach the children to remember this. They don't teach them to think outside of the box and come up with novel ideas to provide solutions to things. They keep them concentrated on this is the problem and this is what we do about it. That's not a solution. That's indoctrination. That's why we have an average reading comprehension of about the 8th grade here in this, quote, United States of America. So let's get into it when we talk about the authorities that give the police their authority. So let's start at the top with your senators.
Anybody want to be poor? I don't.
Senator Rick Scott is one of the richest members of Congress, in part after making an absolute fortune as the CEO of a healthcare company that was accused of defrauding Medicare and fined over $1 billion. What was at the time the largest healthcare fraud settlement in U.S. history. That's that guy. That might help explain why he's so adamantly against this anti-corruption bill. Just might help explain it.
When I got elected, I sold all of my trusts and assets. Great. I don't have a blind trust. I practice what I preach. Great. I don't have a blind trust. I practice what I preach. I don't have a blind trust. I practice what I preach.
A blind trust. Why do you think they call it a blind trust?
I don't have individual stocks. I don't trade in stocks. I'm not a billionaire, unlike others on this committee.
You made a reference to billionaires. Okay. I don't know when in this country it became a negative to make money. But somehow, if you've made monies, you're supposedly, I think Senator Hawley suggests you shouldn't be serving. Anybody want to be poor?
No, it's not that the fact that you make money. It's the fact that you use the system to make money, which is itself RICO and racketeering. You are using your position and knowledge as a manipulation for your own benefit and to the detriment of others. It's antitrust law, just like I spoke of in the last video.
I don't. This is an attack against the president, attack against the vice president. That's all. That's what this is.
I don't know that the attack would be against the president or the vice president because they don't do the things that the senators do. They're not the ones investing and then legislating the laws based on their investments and future profits, interests, things like that.
Did you notice the body language in there? Very chilly in there among those Republican senators. But all of Rick Scott's protestations and invocations of the president did not work to sway his colleague. At the end of the meeting, Senator Hawley voted with Democrats to advance that ban on stock trading. And I'm not saying any of this to praise Senator Hawley, Lord knows, believe me, but it's very clear that on this issue, he's making a calculation that it's in his interest to distance himself from the corrupt billionaires in his party instead of going along with them.
Yep. Instead of going along with it. This is kind of like Trump or Hillary trying to call out Trump for not paying taxes. And Trump spitting back, well, I just used the same loophole that you did, you and your cronies. And by the way, you were in the position to do something about it and didn't. Is Trump doing something about it today? Can Trump do something about it? Again, it's a matter of your authority of the people and their power. And the next one is a Jim Carrey on the Will Smith situation as it goes to equity in any venue. This goes to the entitlement of people that think that because of their position in this popularity contest, that during such an award ceremony, they can walk up on that stage and slap somebody in front of everybody and assault charges aren't filed. The law is for thee and not for me.
Watch how Jim Carrey silences the reporter for trying to... Watch how Jim Carrey silences the reporter for trying to defend Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars.
I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. This is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
It's all of the people seeking that drama, particularly if the drama happens between their movie stars. And that's going to be newsworthy for years. They're going to talk about Will Smith and that slap every time anybody thinks about Will Smith now. They're not going to think about his movies so much. They're going to think about that slap.
I think we all agree on that. I just thought, Jim, that it escalated to that.
It didn't escalate. It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrated. If you want to yell from the audience, show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face.
Watch.
Absolutely. When you take your emotions beyond that boundary of emotions and bring them into the physical world and escalate those emotions into others. If you're going to escalate emotions into others, I suggest they be positive emotions, not the negative drama and attacks. Particularly those character attacks in this popularity contest. Isn't that what it's all about? The ad hom, the name, the messenger, instead of the message. Many people don't get to see the messages in these movies because they're in awe of the messengers, the ones that acted the part out so well. So let's take a look at the next one. Going again to those that have the power so delegated as authorities over the police department. The most insecure white man ever. And this is one of the men on the bench. expressing his authority over the people. So pay attention. He has no such authority. See, he's a violation of the First Amendment right here by kicking people out of this courtroom that have a right to know, simply because he got butthurt and he's in his emotions.
To speak on
Yeah, map 7.
Okay, hang on. I will. Anyone else like to speak on this
Yeah,
item?
map 7.
Okay, hang on. I will recognize who the speakers are. So you may go.
Map 7 was not available.
The next time there's an outburst of any kind, I don't care who it is, we are clearing the chamber. The end, no more warnings. Okay, yeah, that's not how this works. So I'm sorry, you're not allowed to speak.
Okay.
All right, he is done. Remove him immediately.
What happened?
Well, I'm following the decorum policy. We're not going to be called racists. The end. Get him out.
Following the decorum policy that he himself probably made because he doesn't want to hear it. And in that, just because he doesn't want to hear it, he's violating the rights of others to hear it.
Is
Glenda Diaz,
the decorum policy?
you read the decorum policy and you figure
It's
it out.
racist in the decorum policy channel.
Profane, slander, all those.
It's racist.
Max Potenza,
The word
Glenda
racist.
Diaz, and Geraldine
Decorum
Jackie
policy.
Cox. Remove him from the building. There's a lady on the aisle that just turned around and looked. The one next to her, please remove her from the courtroom.
The United States Constitution
Thank you.
establishes the separate.
Thank you, ma'am. You're done.
United States Constitution. That's all she said. United States. She got to the podium and said, United States Constitution. You're done. Where does he think he gets his authority? See, people questioning his authority is the problem.
Carol Peters.
You're all dishonest, cheaters, and racist men.
Remove her from the building, please. Aguilar. There's a lady on the aisle right there in a gray sweatshirt. The one right next to her. Remove her from the courtroom. She keeps clapping.
She keeps clapping.
The kid right here in the green shirt, remove that one from the room.
Quiet
Thank you.
and
Your time
actually
is up.
listen to your
Your time
constituents,
is up.
because your constituents
Remove
are
her.
telling
Get her out of
you
here.
that they do not want these maps.
Get her out of
Better
here.
you gotta listen to them.
She at least made it to her time slot, evidently. He said her time was up. I wouldn't know if that's true at this point. I've never seen the whole video. But either way, you know, this guy's very butthurt when people question his authority, particularly when it comes, again, you can refer to my previous video today, when it comes to the mask mandate and the Nuremberg Code that says the voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential.
Thank you, Renee Thomas. So now I'm calling for the vote.
I have an additional comment.
Your time is done.
No, that's not true.
That it is, and
no, it's
we're, unless you have a majority of this court.
No, Mr. Cradaville, go look at Robert's Rules of Order, newly revised 12.
See, he wants to go to this court. No, this court follows an authoritarian guideline. And like the lady is saying, it's Robert's Rules of Procedure.
Edition, page 400. Do you have 12th edition?
I don't have it. I guess that is the correct edition.
And so he's going to look it up because now he knows she's questioning his authority and she's on the bench with him. Okay. So let's take a look at what cops think they can do. It says angry cop arrested after choking repo man.
I'm going to give you one more second to let him go and get back before you get tased.
This cop just destroyed his own career. It all started when a repo man tried to repossess Officer Charles Vernier's car. The cop claimed the repo man shoved it. The repo man says he didn't, but cell phone footage from the man's wife proves the cop was lying.
Let him go, Charles. He won't be able to breathe. Let him go. breathing just fine.
Let him go, Charles. Charles, let him go. He can't breathe. He's shouldn't rest. Are you an idiot or what?
Well, maybe he shouldn't have stopped me when I go to get my vehicle. Back off!
The angry cop.
Wow. See, such a loud and tempestuous voice is supposed to intimidate others.
Cop didn't let go and kept the chokehold for at least 8 minutes, getting pretty aggressive at times until the police show up.
Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Now, I'm going to give you one more second.
You're going to handcuff him, put him in cuffs. For what?
Let him go and get back before you get tased. Step around the vehicle now. Put your hands on your head. Yes, you are. Turn around. Get on the ground. I'm going to give you one more second to let him go and get back before you get tased.
This cop just destroyed his...
And then he thinks he can get away with it. I'm not going to be arrested today. And instead of standing his ground, he turns and runs like a coward. You got to chase me and catch me. Caught him pretty fucking quick, too. Dumbass. Some people just don't get it. Here's some more people. Not necessarily the police, but they seem to think they have just as much authority as the police because they can call the police for backup. You guys have any experience with animal control officers?
You haven't came in contact with my animal, man. My animal's not loose. Y'all don't see that sign that's in the yard that says no trespassing?
No, sir, I did not. Do you live here?
I answer no questions, ma'am.
What's your name?
You don't need to know my name. What may I assist you with?
I received a call regarding barking of dogs. I need to know your dog's names and...
The barking of dogs, while in the background, the neighbors' dogs are barking. The ones that called them on them.
Information.
Why would you need to know that?
Every animal we come in contact with, we need their name, their
You
age.
haven't came in contact with my animal, ma'am. My animal's not loose.
What had happened is, sir, somebody had called to complain that your dogs are barking all day. So we...
Okay, that's somebody else's dog barking all day. Well, listen to me. I answer no questions, and I would like for y'all to leave my property, okay?
You own the house?
Once again, answer no.
His dogs are inside, while the neighbors' dogs are outside barking the whole time these people are here. So again, whose dogs are barking all day?
Questions, but I would like for y'all to leave my property.
Anytime a dog is outside for more than an hour, they do need a doghouse present.
You're not coming in my backyard.
We have to finish this call out before we can leave, so we need to ask you a few questions.
I'm going to remain silent, okay? Other dogs in the neighborhood bark as well, so maybe y'all should go over there as well.
See, they got the police standing here as backup in case something happens, right? But notice they're all on his property.
Well, and go knock on their door and talk to them about their dogs barking as well. You know, have a good one. Y'all don't see that sign that's in the yard that says no trespassing?
So it's just a matter of being calm, cool, and collective and understanding the truth. You don't need to know the law. The truth is, whoever's calling about barking dogs has got to be insane because you can hear the dogs barking and they're not mine. Let's look at the next one.
What's going on, sir? Officer Torres wants to inspect the truck, which he has all right to do. And I will not obstruct them from doing it. Okay. So, is there another issue, or? Clearly it is. Why? Because he wants me to assist him doing the inspection. Well, he wants you to assist how? You ask him. But you're to operate the control. I am. I will operate it. I have no problem, but I do not legally have to assist you in doing your job. You have to assist with the controls. No, I do not. Yes, you do. Absolutely not. Okay. Yes, you.
Absolutely not. Where do you get that, guy? Nowhere does it say that.
Do. All right. So give me the phone number to your boss. I'll call him right now. You're talking to him right now. All right. By law, you are required to submit to the inspection. And I submit it.
Submit to the inspection, not submit to forced labor to continue in operations during the inspection because you have been stopped from operation so they can do their inspection. Ask them, can they do an inspection while the truck is in operation? You know, moving down the road. And they'll tell you no. It's simple reason and logic, folks. You don't need to know the law. The language itself will tell you.
Operate the control. No, absolutely not. I have not no obligation for interfering if he doesn't assist. No.
No. Interference is a physical act wherein he is physically acting and interfering. You're telling him he has to act, and that if he doesn't act, that would be interference. Interference is not an act, a physical non-act. Interference is not complying just because the officer told you to. It's known as unlawful command. You can't tell the man to do something he's not required to do by law, and that's forced labor.
I'm not interfering. You can do your job. You can do your job. I'm not stopping you from doing your job. Yes, you are. You are interfering with him doing his job. No, I'm not. He can do his job. You have to operate the controls. No. What do I have to do? You assist me? Driver? Do you assist me doing the pre-trip? Ask my question. Are you the driver? I don't answer questions. He's an operator only. Right. So you're obligated to do. I'm not obligated to assist government. Give me the keys. They're in the truck. Go ahead. You operate it. There you go. There you go. Go sit on the curb. No.
Another question is, if during the inspection he's not on the clock because he's not getting paid, then you would have to have a secondary contract, again, for him to operate during the inspection. Otherwise, again, it would be forced labor. Now you find out that he gave authority to somebody else, the inspector, obviously, to operate the truck. So there was.
Hate each other. Just different.
Damn it.
What's going on, sir? Officer Terry, I'm not obligated to assist government. Give me the keys. They're in the truck. Go ahead. You operate it.
So he took possession of the keys so he could give them to the inspector and tell the inspector, okay, you operate it. All he wants to do is have some bitch-ass slave that will do it as he tells him.
There you go. There you go. Go sit on the curb. No, I'm standing here because I don't trust you. I'm thinking sabotage. All right, Freddie, we're off to
And he's every right to believe so. I mean, the guy is outrageous.
No, I'm not. Now, sir, you're stepping in a legal quagmire because I'm not stopping you from doing your job. You're being vindictive. You are being vindictive. As a supervisor, you're being vindictive. Yes.
Again, telling him to go sit on the curb, and if he doesn't, is a non-action. Just because he didn't do what you told him doesn't mean he's interfering. That's an unlawful order. He's committed no crime. He's not under any detention. It's a mere commercial inspection.
You are, because now you're telling me that you're going to hit me with something because of your feelings. That's what you're doing. I'm hitting you because of the law. No, you have no lawful order. What do you talk? Put me out of service on something lawful then. Put me out of service on something lawful. That's all I ask. We have all the right. Yes, you do. You have the right to inspect the truck. The law says you cannot interfere. I will not. You are interfering. You are the driver and you're prohibiting to No, I'm not. Operate. No, I'm not.
No, he did not prohibit him to operate. He merely didn't comply with him telling him he had to operate. And then he turned around and proved his own point because the officer turned around and told somebody else to operate it. So it's not that he wouldn't operate it. It's because this guy didn't know the law and all he had to do is just tell somebody else to operate it. Simple solution. So now if he turns around and does this again and he's already got the solution, what's he doing, folks? He's only asserting his authority. He's not complying with any laws or codes or statutes or contracts. Because this situation, for any future events of inspections, he shouldn't be asking the trucker himself to do the operation. He should just hand the keys over to the inspector. Hey, let me have your keys. We're going to have the inspector do his job, which includes operate the truck. I mean, if he's the one that needs to do the inspection, he should know how the truck operates too, in order to be fully knowledgeable and competent of the operation to do the test of the inspection.
You can operate the truck. Do you know how to operate a commercial vehicle? We're not obligated to you. Oh, yes, you are.
See that again. If you are trying to do an inspection to see if he's obligated in a proper contract of service, then that's taking him off the clock so you can do the inspection. You can't force him to be on the clock while you do your inspection and then take as long as you want and have his load be late.
Oh, no, we're not. Well, if you're going to inspect the truck, you need to know how to operate it, right?
Yep.
Sir, you're interfering with me. So go. Oh, no, I'm Dr.
And that's the simple logic. In order to be able to inspect it, you have to know how to operate it, right? Absolutely. Otherwise, how are you going to perform your inspection?
I mean, everything you're doing, sir. At this point, I'm suspecting sabotage. And I don't trust. You know what? I'll be right back.
And so when they try to give phony delegations of authority, it's only the bitch-ass slaves that are willing, because they don't know any better. The key here is the knowledge, and the benefit is the knowledge. So I urge everybody to start learning this shit. The next one we have: Las Vegas police sergeant sentenced to prison for phony arrests.
You're on video doing things that clearly are, to be kind, inappropriate, and illegal.
Once a leader at the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, today, though, a disgraced sergeant taken away in handcuffs.
Former Sergeant Kenan Menon learning his fate after a contentious court battle involving child sex abuse material, unlawful arrests, and more. We thank you for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm David Charnes.
I'm Denise Valdez. The 8 News Now investigators first to report from Menon's sentencing today. And Vanessa Murphy was there and has much more on the pretty unusual moments that unfolded.
Kevin Menon, once a decorated Metro Police sergeant, now heading to prison for 4 to 10 years for illegal arrests on the Las Vegas Strip and child sex crimes. His criminal cases have had many twists and turns. Menon claiming his fellow officers set him up. Menon saying he's accepting responsibility through a plea deal, but not admitting to committing the crimes in court. And 2 women identified as victims insisting they are not victims.
I take responsibility for these allegations. For any harm I've done, I beg for forgiveness.
Disgraced Las Vegas Metro Police Sergeant Kevin Menon breaks his silence moments before being taken away in handcuffs Monday. His wife and sister-in-law in tears.
Experience has been a deeply personal living nightmare. I am not a victim of my husband. I am a victim of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
In his most recent case, Metro Police say Menon installed cameras in his private bathroom to watch both women use the restroom. That's after his electronic devices like his laptops were taken away. For his second case, police say they found numerous images of child sexual abuse material. And it all started with the first case, where he's accused of leading a team of officers on the Las Vegas.
And so despite the fact that those women claim they are not victims, he was in possession of child pornography material. He had a video camera set up to watch women in the bathroom. This is the context of the criminal prosecutions. And those only came about because he was being investigated for false arrests of multiple people through his tenure. And in that investigation, while they were surveying him, is when they found this stuff.
Vegas Strip creating fake scenarios to target mainly Black men and arrest them. Prosecutors say Menon abused his power even against a fellow officer he shoved. Menon claiming he tried to report racism within the department and was retaliated against. Clark County District Court Judge Ron Israel says the evidence shows otherwise, also expressing frustration with Menon's lack of remorse and disgust at the images detectives found.
It creates a product that causes, in this case, people in Russia to take horrific advantage of children.
I can only imagine that Russia was mentioned there because the pornographic material somehow had an IP address or something to do with Russia. I don't know.
Metro telling the 8 News Now investigators Menon separated from the department in June. Monday marks the conclusion of 3 contentious court battles. We spoke with attorneys from both sides.
This was a very difficult case to negotiate. It made no sense to negotiate just one of the 3 cases. We wanted a global resolution.
Are 4 to 10 years enough?
I was trying to strike a balance. On one level, I think some people could look at it and go, no, that's not enough. Right. And that's a fair criticism. But at the end of the day, when I've ensured that he has pled to every single type of crime he committed in all 3 of his cases, and he's stipulated to prison time, he is becoming a registered sex offender, which he'll never be able to shed. He'll wear that label for the rest of his life.
Menon would likely be a target in prison for 1, being a police officer, for 2, identified as a child sex predator. His attorney is making an effort to get him moved to a prison outside of Nevada.
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't matter where that man goes, he'll probably have to be in protective custody. And then even when he's released and he gets back on the streets, I bet there's still going to be a target on his back the rest of his life.
Reporting in downtown Las Vegas.
So anyway, we need to start, again, folks, paying attention. And I'm pointing out the aspect that if an officer is out there falsely arresting people, generally it's not limited to just that kind of ill behavior. People that do that usually tend to have exponential ill behaviors throughout other areas of their lives. They're of ill repute, ill character. And they're given authority to wield over people that are just stupid. It's amazing. Next one, we have a mayor. Again, as it goes to the authority that goes up the line, the mayor is the one that has authority over the police department and stuff. And so here we have one that, despite his unethical behaviors, is refusing to step down. And the lame excuse that he uses is just astounding.
And I'd like to read this into the record. It was a late edition. This is resolution number 2025-2533.
This company is going viral for its new
And
process.
I'm sorry for the commercials. You'll have to excuse me. I'm not monetized. Deal with it.
Whereas on April the 2nd, 2025, the Alabama Ethics Commission unanimously found Mayor Larry Holcomb guilty of violating Alabama ethics laws in his official capacity as mayor of Fultondale and superintendent of the Fultondale Gas Board. And whereas on June the 4th, 2025, the Alabama Ethics Commission ordered Mayor Larry Holcomb to pay a penalty to the Ethics Commission and restitution to the city. And whereas the City Council of Fultondale acknowledges the serious nature of this finding and the resulting erosion of public trust in city leadership, and whereas the residents of Fultondale deserve leadership that upholds the high standards of transparency, ethical conduct, and financial accountability. And whereas the city of Fultondale is firmly committed to restoring and maintaining the public's confidence in the integrity of its government and elected officials. And whereas in order to uphold the dignity of the office of the mayor and reaffirm the city's dedication to ethical governance, the council believes it's in the best interest of the city for Mayor Larry Holcomb to resign his position. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Fultondale, Alabama, as follows. The City Council hereby formally requests the immediate resignation of Mayor Larry Holcomb from his position as Mayor of Fultondale. The City Council reaffirms its unwavering commitment to the principles of ethical leadership, transparency and governance, and responsible stewardship of public funds. The City Council encourages continued cooperation with all relevant state and oversight authorities to ensure full accountability and to implement measures to prevent future ethical violations within city government. This resolution shall be made part of the official records of the City of Fultondale and communicated to Mayor Larry Holcomb, appropriate state officials, and the general public on this day, the 24th day of June, 2025. And I enter that in form of a motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor by voting yea?
Yeah.
Nays? I say nay. And to respond to that request, my answer is no, I will not step down. And to inform everybody what that situation was, I was charged, Councilman Bryant went to the ethics and filed 4 different charges against me for violating, driving a city vehicle to do business for the gas board. 3 of them was found, they dismissed 3 of them. The 4th one that was not dismissed, when I got back from the meeting that I attended as the gas superintendent, I immediately paid the money back to the gas department that I had charged the gas onto after I realized that it was not ethical. I immediately paid that money back to the gas department for the gas charges that was put on the charge card. There was no money charged to the city. And
that was for the one time. But the other 3 previous times, now that he recognized it wasn't ethical, he didn't pay those back. That's what they found him guilty on. And his excuse why he's not stepping down is because he's the one that admitted it wasn't ethical. Well, if you admitted it wasn't ethical, then why didn't you cover your ass in full by paying back the other 3 incidences? And that's how they actually caught him, because when they looked at it and they checked the books, they saw the other 3 and then came at him with unethical. Said, yeah, you already did it. This isn't the first time. And you're trying to play that it is, and it's not.
The ethics guy told me that me paying that money back showed that I was guilty, and that's the only way they found me guilty of that. So I declined on stepping.
The money that I gave back was the evidence of guilt, and that's the only way that they found me guilty. So he's saying that if he had not paid it, they'd have never found him guilty on any of them, and his unethical behavior that he admits was unethical would just continue. The insanity, folks. The insanity.
How did the FBI go from making up a science to it becoming the standard in the industry? In 2018, the FBI created.
Greetings, sister. How you doing tonight?
Hey, homie, how's it going? I actually was coming up to talk about the other guy.
Which one?
The police sergeant. Was that what he was? A sergeant?
Yeah, the Las Vegas police sergeant sent into prison for phony arrests.
Oh no, which one had the cameras? Was that him too?
Yeah.
Did you see his wife? His wife was like, I'm no victim. Like, he had somehow convinced her, I need to put this camera in the bathroom. And there were 2 women, which means other people who use that bathroom were also subject to his videotape.
Correct.
Probably without their knowledge. And that, I think about things like that. Like, I've lived in some places where the restaurant around the corner got caught with the camera in the bathroom. So I've always been cautious of that. But to go into someone's home and know that they're doing that, yeah.
Yeah, and this is the part you're talking about right here.
Experience has been a deeply personal living nightmare. I am not a victim of my husband. I am a victim of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
In his most recent case, Metro Police say Menon installed cameras in his private bathroom to watch both women use the restroom. That's after his electronic devices like his laptops were taken away. For his second case, police say they found numerous images of child sexual abuse material, and it all
21 child erotica images. So just like the one that we're talking about now with the, or just got done talking about with the Alabama mayor, he knows it was unethical. He's been doing it, and he gets 4 to 10 years.
Are you keeping up with the guy, the judge, and the sheriff or the police officer that shot him in his office?
Yeah,
and
for having affairs with his daughter.
Yeah, and it coming out he was doing that stuff as well. That type
imagine
of
that. Yeah, imagine that. I keep urging people to understand these demons that you're handing your children over to in any venue. You think the police are there for you? No, they're not. They're not there for public safety. They're there for a paycheck. And at the end of the day, they're the ones that have to go home alive so they can see their women and pathetic.
There's some serious deviancy out there when it
Oh
comes
yeah.
and it's sick. But you're absolutely right. He will be punished in jail, even by the prisoners, because that's just something they frown upon.
Oh yeah. It doesn't matter if he's in PC or not. It's likely that they'll get to him somehow. He'll have a greater level of protection, but at the same time, it's still just as dangerous. One shot is all it takes.
Yeah.
Created their own school and their own certification, and they trained a bunch of rookie cops to testify about cell phone location data. These cops take a 2-day class that teaches them how to click buttons on a tool and load in a spreadsheet. What they never teach in the course is how to analyze a call detail record. They taught these cops to rely 100% on the tool and not be able to explain the science.
And that's what I was talking about in the inspection video. If their job duties require them to inspect a vehicle and make sure it's operating correctly, they should know how to operate it themselves.
Agreed.
Same thing with this here. If you're going to have a tool to use as a protocol for your research and investigation of data and stuff, you better know what the details are.
Mm-hmm.
2-day class literally comes with a disclaimer when they log in. It does not constitute an individual as certified to testify, but judges that are law enforcement friendly across the United States still let them testify. They don't care if the science is accurate. They just want convictions. 95% of our digital forensics industry is ex-cops that went to the same 2-day school. The problem is challenging them, and who's going to challenge them?
Subscribe to the NA. Who's going to challenge them? This is why I talk about that forensic audit. When you get into the details of things, even the electronic programming. This is one of the things that I kicked myself in the ass about giving up the programming when I was a kid. I used to build and program these computers when they first came out. I'd be top of the shit line right now if I'd have stayed up with it. Instead, I gave it up. And that's, when it comes to all the different languages and the research I've done, there's this thing in this movement where people talk about the color of the ink and stuff, and they say it's not valid. I urge you to look at computer programming, which mimics the real world. And you will see that they literally now use multicolored text for their computer programming. It is significant, and it has its place. Go ahead.
They do. I was just agreeing with you. Sorry.
Yeah, it's interesting how you can see the real world if you see what's in this computer stuff itself.
So, when I was leaving the hospital, my son had brought my car to the hospital I was at, so I didn't know where I was parked, and so he just took a picture. And when I left, I asked one of the nurses there if he could help me. He's like, I know exactly where your car is. And he was like, let's pull up your Google Maps. And he dropped a pin on the location. And when we went to the image on Google Maps, I'm not saying it was my car, but I am saying it was the exact same car I had. And it was interesting. I was like, holy shit. Like, do they take images every night? Because and stuff, that's exactly where but it was interesting to see the image on Google Maps in my car, a car just like mine coincidentally happened to be there.
Yep. It's amazing the technology that we have and the distinctions we can make in those things that seem identical to us. It's an amazing technology.
And when I used to live in these other apartments, every night around 3 o'clock, I would hear a drone go through our apartments. And I used to always say, it's the police in us. It's the and people told me I was crazy. They told me drones were quiet, and there's no way I heard it. I was imagining things, but I was like, I'm telling y'all, people are doing stuff deep at night because I'm a night owl.
Yeah, me too. So this next one is a jury finds deputy not guilty in mauling a Colorado toddler.
What?
Yep, the law is for thee and not for me.
New tonight, a jury has found a Jefferson County deputy not guilty in a vicious dog attack that seriously hurt a 2-year-old girl and her father. Your reporter Alan Janae joins us live from Castle Rock tonight. Alan, the jury decided he was not guilty of harboring a dangerous dog, but there is already a lot of debate about the way the defense made its case.
Well, there certainly is, Michael. You know, this attack happened when a Jefferson County Sheriff's Office canine assigned to a deputy who lived in Castle Rock got out of its enclosure, vaulted a fence, and went over to a birthday party for little 2-year-old Lily Dean. The dog first went after a ball, then the girl, then her father, leaving the girl with a broken leg. They are disturbing images of a father and his 2-year-old daughter attacked by a canine in the yard of their own home.
She was mauled on her leg, so her upper thigh. That's what ended up in the dog's fangs. And the father is shoulder, back, neck. It's mostly his arm that has been attacked and mauled.
Degna Vanderyacht is an attorney for the Dean family, preparing to file civil litigation after what happened last August. Nearly a year later, the family and Jeffco Sheriff's Deputy Zachary Oliver are still just across the fence from each other. Do they still live there?
They still live there. Both parties still live there. Yes.
How tough is that?
Very tough.
The jury's verdict angers District Attorney George Brockler.
Do you view the deputy as being irresponsible here?
1,000,000%. Deputy Oliver got the dog after...
And understand, you may be compelled to believe some kind of passion for the officer because the dog jumped the fence. But understand, this is a dog that's been through police training academy and is trained to jump fences.
Yeah. Those are vicious dogs. Very vicious.
Yes,
even if it's a German Shepherd, a police trained dog is a vicious dog.
Yeah, and they should be in full-fledged kennels. You want my pit bull boxer mix to be safeguarded against the community so he's not a danger to them. If I felt he was that kind of a dog, he would be in a kennel with a roof on it so he could not get out, on a concrete slab so he could not dig under. These people don't think of that, and they think, well, he's a special dog, he'll listen to me. But what happens when you're not around?
Yeah, those dogs don't know it's not work time. They're always in work mode.
Right, right.
Another dog was killed in the line of duty, and the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office shared some of his early interactions with the Belgian Malinois Ragnar. The dog got free of its enclosure in the yard while Oliver was reportedly inside his house and went after the 2-year-old Lily Dean and her father. Brockler says Oliver's defense used an exception in the law for law enforcement.
An exception in the law for the law. The law is for thee and not for me. I have an exception.
But are they counting the dog as the law enforcement or the man?
It would be both. It would be both. If you kill one of their dogs, that's
right. Yeah,
killing an officer.
Right. So
provision of the law, law that creates some immunity for law enforcement officers who are using canines in the performance of their duties. And so the sheriff's deputy says, well, wait a minute. At the time the dog got away, I was inside cleaning urine out of his kennel, and that is the performance of my duties.
You see how far they stretch it? Again, this goes back to the same concept that we pointed out with the guy doing the inspection. If I'm not getting paid for my duties, then I'm not on the, I'm not going to do it. So here he is. He's not on the clock, but yet he's calling it his duties. No, that's your own personal private duties on your off time. Because if you're taking that dog home and not leaving him in a kennel at the station, then that's your personal dog.
Did they put him down? You know, they usually put these dogs down. Once a dog attacks somebody, I'm interested.
They haven't said anything about it.
Vanderyacht says the sheriff's office changed its position, even sending other deputies to testify that Oliver was doing his job at the time.
The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office would say we We will take care of the family. Those are the statements they would make publicly. This was an off-duty police officer, and all of a sudden, it's an on-duty canine and police officer at all times.
And Brockler, after losing the case, thinks the law now needs change.
That just can't be how the law works. I mean, nobody in my position has been a bigger cheerleader and defender of law enforcement than I have. But this right here is an act of gut.
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. I don't care about your degree on the wall and how many cases
They
you
put me on top, so I have the boobies.
Huh?
Put me on top. Yeah, so my boobies.
So here we have a guy claiming he's the best defender of the law there is. No, I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Okay.
You're the DA. You're the DA. You're the one that tried prosecuting him and failed. You know why that is?
Good old boy system.
Right, because you're the good old boy now sitting here trying to convince the people they need to stand up and start crying out.
A lack of courage and accountability. And I'm pretty incensed by this.
The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office told me today that it would not address DA Brockler's comments. Now, there is still an internal review to be completed in Jefferson County called a bite review. The dog remains with Deputy Oliver, even while he's on duty. The Sheriff's Office says the dog is not allowed out of the vehicle to operate in any official capacity. The Sheriff's Office spokeswoman Carlin Tilley told me today the dog Ragnar will not be staying with the department and that Oliver has resigned the department and will be leaving to go out of state within weeks. She says he will not be allowed to keep that dog. What happens with the future of the dog is still unclear. In Castle Rock.
See, and that goes to that point I was making. If you're taking care of the dog at home, then it's at that particular, you're doing it so in a personal manner because you're both off the clock and he's with you physically during your private time. Okay. If it's being kenneled at the police department, it is most evidently the police department's dog. But again, it's still considered a police officer and therefore is not the man's personal dog.
Right.
Therefore, the police dog itself would have to have been on duty.
Interesting.
So let's take a look at the next one.
They're together now, though, right?
Well, yeah, but not on the police force, and he's talking about moving out of state.
Yeah, and the dog's going, They're putting the dog in dog protection.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
The next one we have, it's sick to my stomach. Ohio mother demands answers after police release missing 12-year-old daughter.
She wants answers after police released her 12-year-old daughter during a traffic stop. The mother reported her missing days earlier. Bryn Caswell with our news partners in Columbus asked investigators what happened.
Disgusted. I was sick to my stomach.
That's how Megan Dunn describes the past 2 weeks. Her daughter, just 12 years old, reported missing to Columbus police back on July 16th. But it's this cell phone video taken by a bystander at Livingston and Fairwood that now raises serious questions about how officers handled the case.
They let her go. I have video footage of her and these officers, and they let that little 12-year-old girl that's been reported missing go. It's not okay. None of this is okay.
That video captured by bystander Deja Rutland.
I just looked at the video one time and knew that was that little girl.
Rutland recorded as police pulled 2 women and a man from a black Chevy Malibu, though it wasn't until the next day that she realized who the young girl might be.
I got on Facebook and the first thing I saw was that little girl's face, and my heart stopped.
Dunn confirmed the girl in the footage was her daughter, Chloe.
The fact that she was this close to a fentanyl overdose and the police had her, no regard for any of it. The negligence.
Columbus police asked questions.
How old are you?
But officers failed to recognize the girl they had in front of them.
She provided a wrong name and provided a false age of 15. The officers called her out on that, and she eventually...
The officers called her out on that, and she eventually what?
He provided her correct name. At the conclusion of that traffic stop, the officers arrested the adult male who had a felony warrant for a parole violation. They released the adult female and they released from the scene of that traffic stop and allowed them to drive away.
I gave it a crack pipe and a crack. Girl, get out of the car. Get out of the car.
How did those officers not look at this little girl and register that maybe she shouldn't be with this adult person? She's already provided a fake name, that maybe we need to bring her in for further questioning.
That's all part.
Because that's job security. If they release them and they get in trouble themselves, then they can arrest them. Okay. At this point, the little girl's done nothing wrong, but they can still arrest her. So rather than take her home to mom, let's see if she gets in trouble with this other woman and we can arrest her.
Well, they could have at least ran her background or see if she was a missing child.
Well, no, they knew it.
The
name was in their database, so when they ran a check on her name, it came up. Had to have.
Did they run the check though? Did they run it? Did they just take her? Well, they had to if they eventually got her name, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Negligence.
Columbus police asked questions,
Hold him.
but officers failed to recognize the girl they had in front of them.
She provided a wrong name and provided a false age of 15. The officers called her out on that, and she eventually provided her correct name. At the conclusion of that traffic stop, the officers arrested the adult male who had a felony warrant for a parole violation.
Yeah, probably. And it doesn't say that they did any name check or anything.
Right.
They released
That's
the
horrible.
adult female.
Absolutely.
And they released
this is
from the scene of that.
Why I
traffic
say
stop
these
and-
police are
and
not here
allowed
for
them to
you.
drive away.
I gave it a crack pipe and a
They're not
crack.
here for your children.
Get out of the car.
How did those officers not look at this little girl and register that maybe she shouldn't be with this adult person? She's already provided a fake name, that maybe we need to bring her in for further questioning.
That's all part of the internal affairs investigation. I wish I could answer that. I don't have that answer. I can't place myself in those officers.
No, it shouldn't be part of the internal affairs investigation.
Yeah, where's the little girl now? Has she been found? Let's find out.
Yeah, I think she has, but the thing is that it shouldn't be at internal affairs. It should have been that the discretion of the officers say, okay, well, we have a missing persons report with this name, so we're going to keep you and take you home to mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Officer shoes.
Why did they do that?
Well, that's what we don't know. I will say that it wasn't until you sent us the cell phone video on Tuesday, the following day, that we even knew about the traffic stop.
2 hours after it made police aware of the video. 6 days since she was reported missing, the little girl was found by police.
So did I help make this possible?
You did, yeah, and we want to thank you for providing that video because we had no knowledge of it. Yes, we wish we handled the traffic stop differently. We wish that we would have been returned to her parents the day before.
Dunn says while her daughter is safe now, she's still waiting for another phone call.
I want an apology. I want you to say, you know what?
Yep. Safe now, yeah.
You're gonna be waiting a long time for that, man.
Yeah,
You're gonna get
absolutely.
your settlement before you get that apology. And
Oh, yeah.
I think earlier you asked, or someone asked in one of the videos, who's going to go up against them, and it's parents, it's mother bears and papa bears who are going to be fed up with the system and how they fail them, either directly or through their children or however, and they're going to fight back. The lady that shot the video, I mean, look at her appearance. She doesn't look like anybody that could fight back. But there are those people that have that memory of, once I see a face, I always know that face. And she had the knowledge to take that video and upload and share that video. That's that power of social media. It's the power of the people that will fight back.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier. The freedom of expression, your freedom of speech is one thing independently, but the right of the people to know is inherently more powerful exponentially. And that's why it's important to get this stuff out. So this next one is police room crime scene.
What?
Yeah, they contaminate evidence. Watch this.
This was some
Oops.
crime scene investigation by the police division. This is a gas station robbery where one of the store employees was killed. The police show up and they start doing their work. There's like 9 police officers in the middle of this gas station just walking around, and no one has evidence gloves on. And there's an officer that was sitting there holding zip ties that were used to tie up the victim in his work glove, not in evidence gloves. What ends up happening is someone says, look for evidence. Grab it, bag it, let me know where it goes. So now they go outside.
Don't touch anything else, don't collect anything. Let's get CIS here.
Now they go outside and the sergeant's on there saying, don't touch anything. We're getting CSI in here, the professionals who know how to do something. So what happens next?
Hey, Burley. Yeah. Good. Put those back down where you found them. We're going to call CIS now.
That'll fix the problem. Put that down where you found it, and we'll let CSI bag it and take care of it, right? And even better, so this is all going on. So they've done all this.
Hey, sir, you gotta cross the street. Cross the street.
You want us to tape up?
Lock this all off, yeah, until we can figure out.
It's just a bystander walking through the crime scene, and all of a sudden someone goes, whoa, 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 this is a crime scene. And it's like 12 minutes into them all being on there, and an officer's asking the supervisor, you think we should tape this up? Do you want me to tape it up? Yeah.
You get to a crime scene, method of operation, crime tape. Investigate. Crime tape, investigate.
Absolutely. Don't contaminate the evidence, and make sure your cameras are on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tape it up. This case was rotten from the very moment the first person got to the scene and started to screw up, and it never got better.
Subscribe to. And that's the way it goes, folks. Because once one of them screws up, it doesn't matter. The others are going to cover for them.
Mm-hmm.
The next one I got, facing potential jail time, OPP officer resigns ahead of sentencing for dehumanizing assault.
What?
OPP Constable Scott Anthony submitted his resignation as a police officer this morning. Anthony apologizing to the man he brutally assaulted during a violent arrest.
Big Pharma hates when
My
you do this,
apology
but they
for the
can't do a damn
commercials.
thing.
I'm not
As soon as
monetized, so
they'll
you'll
put
have to
back
put
pain
up
and knee
with.
pain,
Thanks
you
and
feel like the
appreciate
wa-
it.
That was caught on camera July 10th, 2022 in McTier. Anthony's sentencing got underway inside the Bracebridge courthouse, where the 27-year police veteran's apology letter was read to the court by his lawyer, Peter Brody. In the letter, Anthony telling the court, I have come to terms I am no longer mentally fit to serve, expressing remorse.
27 years, folks, for this man to come to terms that he wasn't mentally fit to serve. Amazing shit.
Made a mistake, a serious mistake. I was experiencing traumatic stress. Anthony said he feared for his safety on his way to the 3 a.m. trespassing call, saying he
3 a.m. trespassing call of a homeless man without even a shirt. No shoes. Fucking cowards.
was mistakenly under the impression he faced a serious threat that night. My mind told me my life was in danger and to panic. Still, he called his actions inexcusable and deserving of punishment for using fists, kicks, knees, and weapons during what the Crown Vlatko Karadžić called a prolonged brutal assault on a defenseless victim who was in a state of mental health crisis, vulnerable, and posed no threat to police that night. The Crown called Anthony's actions a gross breach of the public's trust when he beat the man unconscious, then dragged his shirtless, handcuffed body on the ground by his feet before loading him into a police cruiser. The bloodied man was taken to hospital with several injuries to his head.
Why didn't he call an ambulance?
Well, of course not. He is the first responder. Why wait for an ambulance now when you can take him?
Oh, because you don't have medical stuff in the back of your car? That's wow.
I know where you're going, Cynthia. I know it's fucking insane. It's just fucking insane, isn't it?
It doesn't even make, like, what are you, how are you even, there's another one where a cop had a sick lady in his car, pulled over to do another stop, and she died while he was doing that other stop. Like, what are these men thinking?
Oh, 2 birds in the hand is better than 1 in the bush? I don't know.
That's wild.
Causing bodily harm and 1 count of assault with a weapon following an SIU investigation. He pleaded guilty earlier this year to assault causing bodily harm. Anthony acknowledged his excessive use of force went against his training. The victim, who is now 45, described crippling physical and psychological suffering in the 3 years since the attack, calling his life hell, suffering nightmares, paranoid and confused by fear.
See, he's got no shirt, no shoes. The only thing he's got is his pants. He obviously has no weapons. How would you be afraid of this man?
Right.
Fear,
And
anxiety.
it's not like he got a call from dispatch. He was just driving down the street, saw the man sitting here on the steps.
And depression triggered by what happened to him that night at the hands of a police officer. The Crown calling the man's brutal beating and arrest dehumanizing. My son was not an angel, the victim's mother conceded. However, she said Anthony's assault of her son violated the oath he took, swearing to serve and protect the public, calling Anthony a total disgrace to the uniform he wore. Public, calling Anthony a public, calling Anthony a public, calling Anthony a total disgrace.
Where in the right mind a shirtless, shoeless man do you have the right, when he's sitting on the ground, to kick him in the head?
Right.
To the uniform he wore. The Crown wants Anthony to spend 12 to 15 months behind bars. The defense
12 to 15 months.
What? That's
is seeking a
insane.
conditional sentence of house arrest, saying Anthony shouldn't be in jail with the criminals who contributed to the PTSD.
The criminals that contributed to the PTSD. Nah, I ain't going for it. I ain't going for it. I've been through a lot of PTSD, you stupid motherfuckers.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's not talk about PTSD, huh?
Culminated with the arrest in McTier. Justice John Olver is scheduled to sentence Anthony in late August. Mike Arsledy, CTV News, Bracebridge.
Yeah, I agree. What say, Lou? It's like he was looking for somebody to beat up. He was pissed off at his coworkers or whatever, and he just thought, this guy, he's just a homeless man. Nobody's going to care. That's really what he thought.
Yep. And when we think they're under the watchful eye of their very own institution,
yeah,
and that they're not going to do certain things, it would behoove you to comprehend that is the exact polar opposite of what truly is happening. This one here is deputy arrested following alleged sexual assault of inmate at judicial annex. And what I want to point out in this one before we get into it is that this is just a downplay of what truly happened, which is kidnapping and rape. And I'll explain that when we get to, and I'll explain that when we get to that point. Go ahead.
Grape.
No, I'm not afraid. This is an open forum platform, and the term rape is a normal term used throughout history.
Oh.
And they're not going to censor me in any motherfucking way. Is that understood?
Gotcha.
Thank you. Feel free to speak your mind and use any term explicitly, even if it's COVID-19.
Oh, my goodness. Hello, new panelist. Who is it?
This is greetings, brother. How you doing? This is Fallen Angel.
Hello,
The Fallen. I'm sorry, the Fallen.
That's close. I'm doing good. My first thing was I got on here just to see where I'd get placed on this panel, whether I got above the boobies or below them, and I get to look up at them.
Nice.
There you go.
The dog would look up at him.
So this one here is another egregious act by those that are supposed to be in charge, and they believe they have the authority above and beyond because that's just the way it works.
Deputy Cass Close is accused of sexually assaulting a female inmate inside the judicial annex on Tuesday while she was waiting in a holding cell to go to court. Anna Saunders, again, following this disturbing developments. And again, she's right here live in studio. Anna, talk to us. How was this even discovered?
In a holding cell waiting to go to court.
What?
Also, how is the department now reacting to all of this?
Look at him.
Well, Kanawha County Sheriff Joe.
Yeah, demonic, isn't it? Look how close those eyes are in his forehead, how low they are. And there is definitely something wrong with the manufacturer here.
Listen, old white men do be the most demonic ones when it comes to that sexual demon. Yeah.
Crawford called it an unspeakable betrayal of trust. He noted the county acted quickly to terminate him and also launched their own investigation into how this happened.
In the same building where Deputy Cass Close usually works as a bailiff, he was brought in cuffs Thursday morning. The former officer was charged with imposition of sexual acts on an incarcerated person. Just before his arraignment, the county
Imposition of sexual acts on an incarcerated person. Excuse me. Call it what it is. It's fucking rape.
How did that even happen? Aren't there cameras in the cells?
Well,
who was not watching?
Well, this is where the kidnapping comes in, because under the watchful eye of being in a holding cell, he removed her from that holding cell and took her to a private space. Not once, but twice, while she was waiting to go to court.
quick to address this.
Right, and he's going to do that under his being the bailiff, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Behavior is sickening and it's a disgrace. It does not represent the overwhelming majority of our men and women that go out here and do their job every day and do a great job.
State police began investigating this after receiving a complaint on Tuesday that an inmate had been sexually assaulted by a bailiff in the judicial annex that day while she was waiting for a court hearing. On Wednesday, they interviewed the victim, who said Close came into her holding cell and made sexual comments to her. He then took her from a holding cell to an office where he sexually assaulted her. Court documents say he brought her.
So he took her from the public venue, like I said, that holding cell where she was being monitored by the state under that recording device, and took her somewhere private, obscuring the jurisdictional view, and that is kidnapping. Then he proceeded to rape her. Then he took her back to her holding cell. Then he retrieved her from her holding cell again. Notice they said twice.
Back to the holding cell before taking her back to the office and sexually.
I can't help but notice this is an elderly gentleman. I almost questioned, did he have pill supplements that helped him achieve this arousal not once but twice in apparently a shorter period of time? Like, just speaking from, genetics.
Well, yeah, and that's a good observation, because that's
and if he took a pill, that means he was prepared to do it. He was just looking for the person that was in the most vulnerable position to execute it with.
right. And as what Say Lou says, I bet that wasn't his first time. Like I mentioned with the mayor, that wasn't his first unethical conduct, and he tried to cover it up. And again, this is merely a cover up of what all he's done in his career. This is an old man, so he's been an officer for probably quite a while.
Yeah, did they say?
No, I didn't catch that. Okay. And so it goes to that aspect. Not only is it probably not his first time, but also the fact that these officers are inclined to use many different types of drugs and medications and such.
Also took photos of her. Later on Wednesday, state police interviewed Close, who confessed.
We'll make every effort to continue to investigate this thoroughly. And
Again, notice the proportion and how close those eyes are.
Oh yeah, he's part of it too.
This is Colonel Jim Mitchell,
Dadgummit.
West Virginia State Police Superintendent. Okay, so as we go up the line, these are the kind of people we see in these authoritative positions.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I may be wrong, but that's what I see.
A pattern.
completely. And I appreciate so much the professionalism, the honesty, and the integrity of the Kanawha County Sheriff's Department. And they have cooperated with us completely from the very beginning, and we have no doubt it will continue.
County officials said when they found out about it, they took immediate action and fired him.
This is conduct that will not be tolerated. It doesn't matter whether you're in street clothes, whether you're wearing a suit, or whether you're wearing a uniform and a badge. If you commit an act like this, you will be prosecuted.
Well,
Yeah, it's Deuteronomy 24:17. If one is caught stealing one of the brethren of the children of Israel and making merchandise of them, they shall be put to death. Ye shall put evil away from amongst you. And that's what it's all about. That's why I keep talking about adoption and its importance. There are more desolate children than there are of the married wife. And the true benefit of knowledge is that you teach your younger generations. Therefore, the whole key to being an adult is to return to your childhood and remember how important that is, despite your adulthood.
criminal investigation continues. Sheriff Crawford said there will also be a coinciding internal one.
That woman he raped is somebody's child, particularly the Father which art in heaven as a child of God.
To the victim, I want to express my deepest sorrow and my full commitment to ensuring she receives justice.
Now, the penalty for the crime he is charged with now carries a sentence of 1 to 5 years if convicted.
1 to 5 years, because the penalty or the crime he was convicted of is a grammatical change to dupe the people to believe that he should only get that. Again, what is the sentence for rape?
What was it?
Given.
Sexual contact with an inmate or some shit like that.
Oh.
A $100,000 bond. Live in the studio, Anna Saunders, Eyewitness News.
$100,000 bond for 1 to 5 years. It's amazing shit, folks.
Well, that's amazing. And it tells you the value of life. They don't value some lives. Lives don't have no value. What happened to this lady? There's no value.
Yeah, and that's like the little 12-year-old girl. There's no value unless they could get a paycheck of some sort out of it. It had to fit within some kind of quota. And returning children to moms and dads, that's one of those mundane things that are supposed to be the heroic part. But the real fun and excitement is all the crimes and things like that.
Right.
No,
I have a
that's your
question. I have a question. So when you guys are talking about value and whether the value was on that person that was the victim, and they made the bond $100,000, like, does that bond show the value of what they thought that dude was worth or what they thought the victim was worth?
That's the contract.
I feel like the victim was worth, like, her life, like, was it?
But she's not going to get $100,000. That's what's really weird.
No, oh, for sure she's not. But they're treating it like she might have seduced him or she agreed to it, because how did it happen once and you not say something and then it happened twice? We don't know what she's there charged with. She could be charged with solicitation. I'm not saying she is. I'm just throwing that out there. Obviously, she is charged with something, so they're going to paint her as she's not even an upstanding citizen of the community. This is my, so they're showing.
Yeah, I'm certainly interested in see how that civil suit would turn out.
Yeah, they're trying to. And didn't she say the lady was in the studio with them? I thought we were going to get to hear from the lady. Disappointed, but
yeah, we'll hopefully be able to get an update on that when it happens. But evidently, he's being sentenced here soon. So,
yeah. Whew. These are fun, Wizard. Thank you for taking the time to find them and bringing it to people's attentions and showing how to stand up, fight the power.
In some way, right? In some way, though, it's not fun. It's like sick.
right. Well, see, that's what I pointed out in my last one is, the good cop one. They profess that they're teachers, that they're marriage counselors, that they're family counselors, that they're firefighters and they're first responders and this and that, and that they have all this know-how. No, you don't. You are not a marriage counselor. You don't have a license. You've never been educated on it. Just because you like to play that part and act like it doesn't mean that's what you are. In fact, I would beg to differ that you are not a marriage counselor, that you tear more marriages apart than you ever counsel. I wouldn't suggest that you're an educator or anything like that, because you tear down the family foundation by posing your false authority. And I remind people that Christian scripture says, set thine house in order. And nowhere in that order does it mention a government except in Romans 13, where it specifically starts out with Romans 13:1, in which it says there is no power but that which is ordained by God.
I was saying it was fun because it's interesting to watch the videos and have different perspectives of it and just have conversations about it. That's what.
Yeah, and that's what we need. That's why I have the open panel, so that people can come up with things that I might not catch.
So this is what I think is a proposal, even though it is it's interesting. So I'll go with the fun a little bit, but it's interesting, but really it's like these news stories of all these people in these towns is why they should be playing this at the city council meetings, and everybody should be in there. And it's like that community should actually be watching what's actually happening.
Oh, you bring up a good point.
Yeah, some of these places hire private companies as jailers. They're not even actually law enforcement. They're a private company that's just renting their services to the local law enforcement.
Absolutely.
I don't understand that part either.
Well, and that's all part of those contracts and insurances and everything. That's why I keep telling everybody it's all about the bonding. And when you understand that, and that they're using your name in that system for that specific bonding, you catch them and hang them up. But
I'm trying to find the videos. You played one earlier of a city hall or whatever meeting. We got a new mayor in town where I used to live. And then you get to the public speaking part at the end, where citizens can get up and talk. Everybody that stood up to talk got arrested.
What?
Yeah. And then when one of the board members stood up to protest, the mayor had him arrested.
What?
Yeah.
The boys system. They take
I
care
have
of
to find the video of it.
Yeah, you do that. You let me know. We'll do a review on that, because those are my favorites.
Oh my God, it was crazy.
We showed a short something like that today, where a judge was on the bench, was going to a policy that he made about certain slanderous remarks and this and that, and he just started evicting people out of the courtroom, including one that was clapping. That's all she did. She didn't say a word. She was just clapping. Freedom of expression in clapping, and he get her out.
Well, a judge has rights over their courtroom.
As it goes to a certain decorum, which the lady on the bench then turned around and iterated to him, hey, we're not going by your courtroom policy. We're going by Robert's rules of procedure. And he was like, yeah. So, yeah, they do. And that's one of those things about a friend of mine on Facebook, Chris, bless his soul. He passed on, but he was always talking about remonstrance, where you use Robert's rules of procedure and show them how they're acting outside of those procedures, and therefore they have no authority. that anything they've done outside of those procedures is void on its face.
The other panelist, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but he's right. Like the news stories make us scared and, you know, show us things that have happened. But the videos of the council meetings and all of that, that would show you how to fight it more accurately.
Yeah. And I've been to city council meetings, and I wear this. You know, that's an important part of my message, is not just to sit there and teach it, but to practice what you preach. And despite anybody that would want to say that I don't do anything, I've got video evidence showing my involvement with this community, despite the fact that I've got 94 cases on that docket, of which there are several, 11 or 12 or so, that there's no action on. I never appeared in court on them. And yet there's no warrants. And so let me pull it up.
Oh, I've seen this.
It's paramount that everybody will understand that if you're going to continue with this budgeting system based upon the people in your community that you depend upon to receive those very monies, then you need to start listening to the people in the beginning. My specific issue is I wanted a meeting with them, a private meeting. I called about 6 months ago to the ladies down in the office, and they assured me that somebody would get back to them, and I would have that private meeting so we could discuss the details specifically to myself as they relate to the rest of this community. I'm not who you think I am. I'm not a resident, and I'm not a United States citizen. I'm a man that was born just like everybody else, a living soul. And when we start placating that a budget is more important than the living souls that support it, that becomes an egregious act against humanity. Can I set up that appointment with you tonight, sir? All I need is, as a member of this community, a private meeting to meet with you that has been negated for 6 months. You can call my office in the morning, we can work from there. My name is Keith. And I got that meeting, and I meet with him. I've met with him several times. That I'm not playing games.
Does he have a better understanding of you?
Absolutely. We get along great. Willing executioners for nothing more than a dollar. Pass that along to whoever's taking that call. That I'm not playing games. We are slowly becoming, in modern America, Hitler's willing executioners for nothing more than a dollar. I'm sorry if that hurts anybody. That's the reality. I think everybody else needs to start taking a look at that. Thank you for the time. Thank you, sir. Yeah, so I'm not light with my words. I'm not impolite, but I'm very direct.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I can testify to that.
Don't be afraid to speak, people. And yeah, I'm an angry old man, as it goes.
That's true.
Because I'm not afraid. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what you think or what you feel. It's me that has to look in that mirror at the end of the day. And if I don't agree with myself, then I need to look in that mirror again and say, what's the problem? Mm-hmm. Then I can ask other people. Then I'm open-minded to that criticism, particularly people that I'm used to getting that flack from. And I can start seeing that, hey, maybe they've got a reason to be saying what they're saying. With that, we are done. What do you guys got on the way out? You'll be here next time, right?
Yes. Do you do this every week on Tuesday?
I do it whenever I can.
Okay.
Well,
I have the
I've been trying to do a stream every day here lately. And today I've done 2. I did a short one earlier. Didn't have a panel. I just did a video on the the COVID and everything and how that came about. I did a review on a short video, and then I went over some material that I was familiar with in my research and put out a statement in 2020, August 2nd of 2020, 5 years ago, about COVID, that it doesn't work against me. Nuremberg Code, first 10 points says the voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential. I don't consent.
All right. Well, good talking to you. I enjoyed the videos. I enjoyed meeting the dog avatar.
When you go on live, Cynthia?
I'm trying to wait around and see who else is going to go. But yeah, I was going to go here in a little bit if nobody else.
Okay.
All righty. Talk to you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for stopping by.
Well,
oh, yeah?
Hey, I got something a minute. This panel, or what you're on right now, right? Keith, you name it, tits out and balls to the wall. So if she has notifications on it, it actually reads that it will be this content.
Right. Yeah, this is number 15. And I used to do various other ones, and I'm going to put them all in a playlist because I just renamed it to Tits Out and Balls to the Wall, even though I've done them before.
All righty. Well, thank you for reminding me, and I hope to see you again.
You
Bye.
bet. You too.
Okay, peace, Brother Keith.
You bet. Thanks for
Live
stopping
life,
by.
love life, and oh yeah, no worries. Okay, bye.
Absolutely. All right. And you guys know me. I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back. That's to say, I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you don't respect me. That part's on you. So may God bless you and love you. We'll see you again next time. Bye now.